Hey, welcome to Color Collage month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had to count the blocks to know where we are. We're on block 5. They're hanging over there on the wall. I'm not just, that looked kind of weird, just kind of waving my finger around. But anyway, we're on block 5, which is called Laurel. I like that. I think that's pretty. Peter's behind the camera. I'm sitting here at the sewing machine.
And Dawn's behind me.
And Dawn's in the background. So say hey, Dawn. They're asking.
Hello, everybody.
They're missing our Dawn. She's still here. She's a busy little bee. So she's not gone. She's just taking a little break. Siesta. Yeah, she finished Emma, which was a really cool Wyndham Fabrics anthology boutiques fabric that was a beautiful quilt, and they finished that video today. So she's gonna take a little break, but she's not gone. She's just, everybody deserves a break, right? Everybody does. Okay, so we are still doing Color Collage. It's a 10-part block of the month. So we're on block 5, which means we are halfway. Once we get these 4 done, we will be halfway, which is kind of a good place to be. The other place I like to be is next in line. Like that's like the best. It's like next in line means you're almost there. And the other thing about being next in line is you can say to the person behind you, say, go ahead. And then you're like being super nice. I don't always do that because I'm not that nice. But it's kind of nice to be like the person who's next in line, and if somebody comes up behind you and only has one thing and you've got like 1,000 things, you can say, well, why don't you go ahead because I have so many things. And then the person behind you is like, oh, you're so nice. So halfway and next in line, 2 places you want to be. Okay, so here we have this.
But if you want to be first, then don't you have to be last?
I don't really want, yeah, that's true. To be first, first shall be last and last shall be first. So, and I don't want to be first or last. I like to be next in line. See that? Next in line.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, anyway. Okay, so fun fabric. I love the fabric choices. Peter's talked about her fabric choices again and again, how lovely these are. This month you're using 4 fabrics again. One that's called Blue Growing, which is really, really pretty. This really pulls in the teal and the yellow and the green and that real pretty, I think it's a teal. I call it teal. I mean, it's a bluish color. You also use the green furrow, which is a fat quarter. All these fabrics, you should have enough left to do another block, so don't, if you chop it all up, call us, you're going to need more. This one's called Blue Laurel, which I love that. I have family in down in Kentucky, and they talk about Laurel County and Laurel flowers, and there's a lot of stuff. And then this one is called Butterscotch Solid, which you should have enough left of this to do this block, and then you're also going to use it in your borders. So make sure you have that. I think our kits were packed well. And coincidentally, the shop kit I received did not have it, but that came directly from the manufacturer. So, but I'm good.
Set me on a goose chase.
I did. Poor Peter. I came back and I said, I can't find this fabric, and he went out and found it because, you know, he asked Betty. Credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
But we have these fabrics. So if you, as you cut, when I tell you should have some left or not, if you don't have some left, get it with us so we can get you hooked up. Okay. So, you know, if you want to see a picture of block 5, let me just take it, Peter. I'm going to stand up.
Get it.
I'm going to pick this
Get
off
block
the wall.
5.
There you go. So here's the block that you're going to make. And every single block, every single piece you've made that we make in this block, you've already made this before. So I'm not going to go through every single little detail with you because you can watch the previous videos and you have done this block before, basically. It's just choosing different fabrics and sewing them together in a little different way. But I'm loving the introduction of this butterscotch color. I think it's really yummy. It looks really nice in the quilt. So when you look at these pieces, of course you've got your center square, which is always easy to do. So that's this piece here. And then we have these 2 that are the rectangles that you sew the half square triangle. Actually, you lay the piece on top like that, and you sew diagonal across this way. And then on some of them, you're going to sew diagonal the other way. And that's kind of the trick with this one, is to make sure you get some going one direction. I think I sewed this one the other direction. Nope, see, I sewed both of those the same direction. So the next one I sew has to go the opposite direction. And remember, this is the one I like to start sewing from this side, not the point, okay, because it sews together a little nicer. And then these, you start with half square triangles, which, you know, I tell you to oversize those. So that's one that when you cut those, and it's always the B square, she gives you a 3/8 inch measurement. Cut it at a half, not at 3/8, and then you have a little bit more fabric. It's a little more generous to make sure you can square that up. But you make all these little half square triangles. See, there's all my half square triangles. And then I sew them either to this piece or I sew them to this piece, which then gives me these. So I have like that. Actually, we'll put them the same way. Like that, okay? And then when I put them together, I'm going to do this. And that makes my corner pieces. So we've actually done these very same blocks before in this series. And so I do those 4 corners with this block. And I do these 2 here and the one in the center. It sews together so quick and easy. And you make 4 of them. So I just don't have a whole lot to tell you because you've already done this. I mean, you can't elaborate on what's already been done very too much. Other than I really hope you're having fun with this. I mean, I think these blocks are stunning. Next month, I think we actually get to go, are we past making blocks? No. We make 4 more blocks again. Oh, we've got 3 more months of just making blocks, it looks like, before we actually do to the great big center one. So we're still making, when you look at the pattern, we are still making all these blocks that go out here. So we're about 2 or 3 months away from doing this big one. And when we get into that one's kind of big, but this is all applique. And in the kits that you purchase from Always in Stitches, that's pre-cut and fused and ready to go, which is going to save you a huge amount of time. But when we get to do that applique, that kind of makes people nervous. So don't anticipate, just participate. But know that applique is coming. So if somebody says to you, oh, I've never done applique, it scares the daylights out of me, don't listen to them because it's really okay. We're going to walk you through that applique and you're going to find out it's really not that hard. But we're still making the blocks to go around the outside. So if you have questions, you can email me, Cappy@alwaysinstitches1.com, or you can always call the store. We'll help you in any way we can. But I think this will be pretty easy for you because you've made these blocks before. So I hope you're having a great stitchy day, and happy stitching.